He punched me in the head at a fucking house party. We were like 15. Now he scored against Haaland.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number 55 of our wee podcast, proudly sponsored by Monte Carlo, Love Pizza and Royale. We'll tell you a bit more about them later in the episode. But first, our first guest episode in our new studio. Please welcome to the podcast, Mr. Darren Matthews.
Yay!
I said that like it was a big MC crowd here.
Yeah.
There is thousands. There's the usual. There's
See that
CD.
guy at the back there?
A couple of my split personalities are here.
Well, Jonesy there. Good to see you again.
Rosette. Oh, that's great. Our first ginger guest. We've started getting on ethnic minorities now, guys. It's good. Fantastic.
Whoa, friendly
Straight
fire.
in with a racial slur there, Pedro.
You're meant to welcome him on the podcast
We're checking off
A
boxes
bald
as we
man
go along.
slagging me about her. Get fucked.
Well, that's what it is. I just get slagged for being bald the whole time on here. I'm like, I go over something.
I have a question for you off the start. Is this the final piece of your Northern Ireland podcast Jigsaw?
I written off.
This?
It is,
Yes,
yeah?
yeah.
Probably. Is it? No, there's a couple more I haven't done, but yeah, this is checking them off.
The only one that matters.
But yeah.
The only one
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The lads, because of the shows coming up, it feels like I'm on a press tour.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody, please help.
Well, this is where you get grilled. This is where we get down to brass tacks. So, Darren,
What does an art of your show really mean?
fighting fit. How close are you to fighting fit?
Well, right now, not very. But not too bad. Let's see how it goes.
Jeremy Paxman here. You're sitting beside going.
We may as well talk about it since you brought it up. You have some shows coming up.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a really good idea to do 2 different shows on one weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
No, I mean, it seems like a good idea at the time, but that's until you have to actually do the shows. So we'll see how it goes. Fighting Fit's a show I already did once
Okay.
Yeah.
in the black box, but it was like it used to be people would do previews for Edinburgh,
Yeah.
and so I did this show once and once only, and I was like, that went really well, and then the fucking world closed. So I
that was
didn't,
before COVID.
yeah, this
then,
was before COVID, so I didn't
Oh,
get
I
it
thought you were
again.
going to say that thing where like, it went so good, let's not do this again.
No, I mean, I was happy enough with it. I only did about 50 people, so I'm going to do it again now.
Is this a bigger room as well then?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Deer's Head, so
Deer's Head. That'll be
100.
lovely.
So
I
should
was
be
actually in
fun.
it the other week. Seen your reposters.
Thanks very much.
Looking very
QR
well.
code and everything. Made that
Very
myself.
well. Yeah.
Took me 45 minutes.
Fantastic.
You had to
I
draw
didn't-
the QR code yourself, did you?
No.
Yeah.
I'd love to say it took me 45 minutes. It took me about 4.5 hours. I'm rubbish at this stuff. Like,
Yeah. What's the second show?
second show is the 3rd edition of Beer Tasting with a Comedian. A show I've done
yes,
twice
yes.
before.
The hit
So is
phenomenon.
it describe that as where you get like 4 different beers in and you go through them with the audience as well, almost emceeing the beer?
That's stage 1 of the show.
Yeah.
So the show's 2 parts.
I don't know much about this.
You haven't seen this before, no?
I've heard of it. But
So I've done it twice, and I did it once as a corporate. So
Okay.
beer tasting with comedian is we get the beer tasting flights. So it's usually craft beer, or because we do it in the Deer's Head, they make their own beer,
okay.
which is delicious. So we get the 3 tasters. We'll talk them through, and sometimes I have guests drop in, and they'll do like 10 minutes while you're having your sample,
right.
It's nice. Like,
and then they'll drop down to do that. We do that as the first half. Now, when you're coming in, everybody's issued with a raffle ticket.
yeah.
And then that's for the second half of the show. So there's different rounds, different games to play. You get drawn out, you come play the game, you possibly win a prize.
Is this your creation? You started that as well then?
Yeah,
the earlier stuff,
this is like an extension of an idea I used to do when I lived in Australia at the comedy festivals,
That's class. Like,
which was beer tasting with a comedian.
I
So I
love
was
nights
like,
like
I
that.
can-
Yeah,
Like just
something
something
different,
different.
yeah.
Like, there's so many comedy nights, but it's good to have a wee. I don't know.
I would
different wee
really,
vibe.
I would love to make it a regular because I
Yeah.
love drinking at work. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at doing like a wee sort of alternative night and just
Yeah.
sort of branch out of the
Do you
shell
know
a wee
do
bit.
you know what that's kind of like? I don't mean to make it sound shitty, but it's like, do the Belfast tour, the bike thing? It's like that, but a million times better because you don't have to fucking pedal or cycle anywhere.
oh, there's no exercise involved at all.
and there's
Just
no
sit.
dickhead going, right, everybody clap your hands.
Yeah,
I literally have a bit about that at the moment, just about how awful Belfast bikes are.
Guys, this week's episode of the podcast is sponsored by Monte Carlo Chippy, Lurgan, Belfast, delivered straight to your door. Why not get a delicious chippy from the number 1 guys that do it best than anybody else?
Chips with gravy, chips with curry, chips and a chicken burger, whatever you like.
Monte Carlo moved into Lurgan quite recently. I don't think I've ever been more passionate about something in my life. Weekly, I'm there, I'm dipping stuff, I'm biting stuff, I'm putting salt and vinegar on everything, and I'm loving life. I've never been happier.
Get it on a Monday, Sunday, lunchtime, evening, whatever you fancy. Make the right choice. Get a Monte Carlo delivered straight to the gaff.
I used to drive the glider, and I fucking hate those things.
Honestly, right, one of the questions
So you
I
get
have
stuck
down...
behind one of them.
Yeah, this isn't even a question from any of the listeners, just one I have. You used to drive a glider. Have you seen anything mad on a glider bus?
I have been lucky
I've never
enough.
been on one.
I was lucky enough to avoid most of like the videos that go into Belfast Live and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like guys like wedging them, trying to turn them in the road. They're 62 feet long. Definitely don't do that. I didn't.
Definite.
Yeah.
Don't go rally this year's going to be lit.
She's lowered and screwed by twin cam at the back.
They do have tinted windows, do they not? No.
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 A big aerial out the back.
That's one of the things. Not related to the glider, but what is the difference between an exhaust that costs you £400 and one that's fucked?
I know.
Probably just the decibel levels, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's people are just like, I punched a hole in it with like a screw punch. I'm like, it sounds broke.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
That's it's the equivalent of, remember, like when you're a wee fella, you used to like, crush a can and put it in the back of your tire. Do you ever do that?
Oh,
Do you,
absolutely.
you say
Yeah,
you're a wee
well,
fella? Do you have a son you're hiding from us?
No, I said, do you remember when you were a wee
Oh,
fella?
you said do you know when you're a wee fella? And I was like, Jesus, Pete, I
No,
love
I've got
you.
a daughter. Not
Yes,
a
that only it's a 1987 Honda Civic. So that's the difference.
I remember when I first sort of got to know you, just starting off stand up, and it was the second Sunflower I done, and this girl I work with goes, he's a double this wee man who drives the glider. I sometimes go, it's like, wait till the set starts
Yeah.
and you're in for a treat.
Also weird that she remembers glider drivers.
Yeah.
Like she's got like a sticker book collection. I need to get a Darren Matthews to complete the
She was
glider
like chatting
collection.
away to you, and I was like, do you know him? She goes, no, but he looks like someone I know. And I was like, wait till the set starts.
Well, fuck, I'll remember the guy who pulled away from the bus stop the day while I was waiting for the lights to get across to the bus stop.
Oh, you
I
never
was
forget.
like, no call for that. Like,
Whenever you did drive it, would you have done that? You've been like, I heard someone sprinting in the rear view mirror. Just
no,
Diff it out.
I don't think I'm mean enough to do it. The other thing as well is with a glider, when you push the wee button to shut the doors, if somebody puts their hand in it, it reopens.
Oh, mate.
I know Darren Matthews is the MC promoter, and you're pretty strict on your times, Darren. So
Not too bad. Weirdly enough, less so when I was getting paid a lot more to do it.
See, with a glider, could you ever go and hungover, or is that just a massive no-no? Like,
No, definitely not.
this is such a description. Darren is a fantastic comedian. We're like, tell us about the
The
glider.
glider? Yeah, yeah.
Tell me
I'm
about the
interested in
thing you
glider.
haven't done in 2 years.
Yeah. Let's dig up the past.
Fuck yeah. Let's
No,
talk
no,
about the
secrets
peak
of
of
the
your
glider.
career here.
Definitely not. Essentially, I mean, if you think of the fear of a hangover, right?
Yeah.
And now you're in charge of a bus that can potentially hold 108 people.
That's famous for going viral on Facebook Live
Yes,
as well. Yeah.
and that
essentially
bends in
Jesus.
the middle. So don't do
Yeah.
You're
it.
Jesus for that 20 minutes.
No, that'd be a 12-seater. That's a minibus.
Hey, see, here's a comedian. I told you we were going back.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't have gone in like dying or drunk. Not a mission. That's just not worth that. Like,
Well, see, I came up on the train here today, right, guys? I'm going to let you in on this. This is pretty trampy.
it's a
but I'm not
driver's
telling
statement.
you. No, nobody's smacked up off his tits. I haven't paid for a train ticket in like months.
I think that's the common done
Yeah.
thing here, though.
Do you do this as well? I have like a Lurgan, the Belfast return ticket on the back of my phone, and it like just in the back of the case.
Yeah.
So take it out when I get on, and I just set my earphone, just very conveniently over the date.
Oh.
No,
And just
Your Honour.
that is now
Yeah.
in the instructor's. At the ball's in his court, whether he moves that earphone and
What
checks
is
the
this,
date. I haven't
Ocean's
said
11?
that's my ticket. But all I'm saying is, since doing that, I haven't paid for a ticket since.
I'd love that instructor to do a bit about stand up. Sometimes when I check the tickets, I see you. I recognise you.
I probably don't spray right. Where's that trampy bastard
He
scooping
just
on
sees it
again?
every time.
they're gonna
I'm
see
like,
this
I've got
and
away
be like, go for this man.
You see anybody
I know
getting
they
on
watch it.
Lurgan,
Yeah.
you're not going to say fuck all to them. So
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah.
But when you get to Belfast, that's when they start
You're going out through and there's another gate to pass.
start to get notions of themselves.
I only started getting the train when I would go down to yours to do like writing or whenever
Yeah.
we would go gigs and stuff. And in my head, I was like making such a big deal of it, like, oh,
Yeah,
get the train
honestly,
here.
swear to God, Darren,
And
he's
it's-
all right. I'll come down at like 2. I'm like, but you're meeting me at 4. And he's like, I know, but I need to get the right train. Like leaving like fucking hours
Yeah.
in advance. I'm like, bye, just get on the train when you need to get on the
You
train.
want to talk
like,
about
so-
a guy that pays for every train ticket? This guy.
Yeah, I do.
He
And
buys fucking 2.
That's
That's
terrifying.
This guy's buying return tickets. Fuck's sake.
I remember last 2 Saturdays I was doing Thornbury's in Lisburn, so Sean Hegarty texted me going, gig starts at 8:30, the FA Cup final finished at 5:30, and I to my mates, right, I'm waiting to Lisburn now.
How far away do you think Lisburn is?
Yeah, in my head I was like, right, but what if it's delayed? Like, you gotta take that into...
He's setting his watch 2 hours. Think there's a time difference.
I know. Now, I would slag Belfast people for not knowing anywhere outside Belfast.
Yeah.
Lisburn is
The next
essentially
place.
it's another suburb of Belfast now. There's that many houses. It's just grown
Yeah.
into one giant Belfast.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lines are blurred. Like,
And then Aaron Butler goes, will you bring me on stage? And I will have to see my train's at 10 past 10 and it's 10 to 10 now. And
the
Aaron's
train in
like,
50 minutes.
"Oh, it doesn't take 20 minutes to bring me on stage."
Oh, you
Do
regenerate.
you say because you like don't drive and stuff like that? Do you have like any concept of time? Like, do you think
Well, that's why I was down here early today. I got the bus at 4:30,
You
had a
did.
boozum, and then
You're
I...
up early.
Yeah, I think it's also polite
He's never
to be...
late though.
That's no bad
He always
thing.
errs on the right side.
No bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'd rather. Do you know what? I think I called you because today we're filming a Moddens the night that I'm doing my show in,
Yes.
and I walked in. I got here like super early, and I walked in and seen Kieran here,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Oh fuck, you came down to help out?" And he just immediately turned and goes, "I left my glasses here yesterday, actually." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
I know where they were. In my bag.
The whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
He's
But
been
he
looking
left
for
the
them
house in an absolute fucking tizzy to get down here.
He left
Must
the house.
find them.
He left
He's
the
always
house at
got
1 o'clock.
glasses to see the train timetable. Fuck's sake.
How am I going to make the Lurgan?
So did you get the? You ever get the train down to his house? You ever get the train down to
I
yours?
normally got the bus done, Newry, but because I remember thinking
Man,
Banbridge.
you're missing out on the view out to the right from the 18 Arches where you can
You
quite
love
literally
them
see my
arches.
house.
Yeah, I
You
do.
love
I
them
do
arches.
every time we drive past it, because I also have said, right, I'm at Banbridge now. She should probably leave the house, and Sean was like, Banbridge is you're 40 minutes away.
You're not close.
On the bus, yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've noticed since doing stand up? Do you not think like your perception of time is class? Like I can pinpoint like, say if like you look at the time, and then you look at the time in like say 45 minutes, you know exactly that it's been 45 minutes. Or like if you're watching like an episode on TV and it's like half an hour for each episode, like I'll check the time and I'll know it's about 18 minutes, and then you'll check and it'll be like 19 minutes. You're always like pretty close to it. No?
Are you like doing wee tests on yourself?
Yeah,
You're like
I quite like it. It's like
18 minutes, click.
It's like a really like shit superpower. It's like, yes, I'm within about 30 seconds.
You just look at the sun and be like, 20 past 4.
Do you not notice that? You're really good at like,
I've always
guessing
been.
the time.
I've always been good with time. Like I can do that thing where I can fall asleep and wake up at the time I need to the next morning without the alarm.
That's a bit of a
skill, like,
superpower.
that's a superpower.
What's going on
What's
there?
is this?
What is that? That sounds like a doomsday announcement.
I don't know if
Yeah,
the
yeah.
microphone's gonna
Was
pick this up.
there was there
I
a
think we're
bomb went
knackered.
off today in Victoria Square, or was that
Was there what?
something happened in Victoria Square today with a bomb scare, or was like
Does that,
someone
do you
say
mean like
it,
a
no?
person? A fucking
Yeah.
bomb scare over there.
yeah.
Load
Some-
of kids get off the glider. Fuck's sake.
Either that, or women were just talking about what the troubles used to be like in work, and I overheard it while eating a chicken curry, and I was like, "Is this happening right now, or is this
Well,
the
step
70s?"
one, Victoria Square wasn't there.
Yes,
I was there before, but I remember that.
it wasn't. Yeah, the kitchen bar, fucking.
Yeah, just the kitchen bar. I was at
Not a
scraps
thing.
outside the kitchen
Yeah.
bar.
No, we have. Well, I mean, how you finding the new home and the new studio? Because you used to just record in your
Yeah, just my flat. Like,
in your flat and just
Yeah.
kick your housemate out, be like, "At time of the week, mate, out the fuck."
he literally was locked in his room,
Slept in
Cinderella.
his bed.
Oh, was he? You wouldn't
Yeah.
even like, "Here's a fiver, go get a wee cup of coffee and chill out."
He was
No?
given a bucket to shit in and go to the pissing off.
You're
You're not allowed out.
There was one day.
The
you know,
Shaw Wank Redemption.
he'll hate me telling this story, but fuck it. I don't think he listens anymore.
Doesn't
Him and,
listen.
him and his girlfriend had an argument, and they were arguing back
as one
and forth.
does, Kieran, as
As
one
one
does,
does, yes.
yes.
And I basically said, right, you need to leave the house with her because we're about to record. And they went to walk, and they made up on the walk while we were doing the podcast. So
That's a nice story.
yeah,
We should have got them on the podcast. I made them beef it out there. That
Couple
would have banged. Yes. Weirdest
So,
episode of Catholic
three of
Church
us
ever.
are not qualified in any way, but tell us what's wrong.
yeah.
Also, just keep getting more and more people on. You're on it for some reason. And
Yeah.
the shot gets wider and wider.
Sorry,
Jimmy-
Jimmy, what did he say then after that?
Jimmy Hutchinson going to the back.
We bring on our wee aftercare guy from backstage.
We've now just got a barman hostage behind the fucking
Graham on there. Bring Graham on there.
Another Guinness, sir. Another Guinness.
Oh,
I
dear.
have to say, right, I haven't thought about this, but probably out of all the studios,
Yeah.
how can the fuck can you beat a bar?
I really like it here. I do. I like the look of it. See, when you watch episodes back, I like the way it looks because there's so many podcasts in Northern Ireland, and a lot of them are in a studio.
Yeah.
I think this looks unique.
That's definitely
You know what I mean?
unique.
Yeah.
It does. I like it.
It is.
It's ropey.
I don't think it.
Nah, but
it's
you
got
can have good
character.
ropey. You can have good ropey.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
have-
Good
this is like an old man's bar in Donegal.
You when
That's
you walk
good.
into a gig and it's stinking, you're all, it's going to be class.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that, like?
I feel like we could take us to, yeah, you're probably right, we could take us to anywhere, just find a bar, kind of like us, throw a flag up, we're sweet.
Yeah.
Arnold's in Donegal. Patsy Dan's actually be a better bar.
You heard it here first, we're going on tour. Darren, you're coming with us, come on
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm up for that. This is great.
Darren is a fan of similar music. Who do you think? Do you think that's Lou Reed?
I have a fucking clue who that is.
You think that's supposed to be Lou Reed?
It's
It's a bit. It's kind of like a mix of Simon and Garfunkel at the same time. It's got Paul Simon's face and Garfunkel's head, like the haircut.
It's not a mandolin because it's fucking massive.
Yeah.
I think it's a lute.
It looks like he's playing it on.
Mickey
sure.
Bartlett
Comment
goes,
down
he's
below
got
if
a
you know who
stump
that is.
for one hand.
Yeah. That's
that's
the one
true
thing
though.
about the comedy club setup I wish I could change.
Because everyone talks about it.
Because everyone
Yeah.
everyone
As I have.
addresses it.
Yeah.
You like it? No.
Whatever happened to the guy? Remember he brought the art in of all the different comedians. Some
Niall
guy
Taggart,
was like,
yeah.
"Can I put up?" Niall Taggart, who's done a few gigs. He done his first one here. He did his first gig here, and he does art of like comedians. So he had like ones of like Dylan Moran and Bill
Bill
Burr,
Burr,
and stuff.
yeah.
They were pretty good.
He had a great suggestion for if someone's going over time. I think you'd like this, where if they just aren't
Shoot
taking
them.
the flash, you shoot them with a Nerf gun. That'd be like,
And
you
they're-
know.
It's not a bad one. Because you know, normally we just sort of turn the mic down. That's one of the things about the gong show thing we're going to be doing, is that I think it's
Yeah.
going to be you're gonged off if you've made the 5 minutes or if you get gonged
Yeah.
off. So no matter what, I'm like, that's you.
I've been
Yeah,
gonged
get
off before. Like it's not good crack. Like.
Well, here I was like, who wants to try this? And a lot of people who are newer acts were like,
Yeah.
I'll do it. And I was like, you don't need any more harm to yourself as
Yeah.
lads.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do this. And they're like, no. I was like, okay, that's fine. So
I was
We did try
watching,
warn
but
you, Kieran,
it's-
like, don't be doing the gig, like.
Nah, I'm
Looks-
looking forward to it, so.
he's a her for stage time. He's doing
Yeah.
both gigs. I
Yeah.
thought you were doing the odd gig, otherwise
Yeah.
it would have been like not a chance.
Well, nah, I just was kind of like, you know what it is? Got the solo show coming up. Just need to try and get as much stage
You know what
time
it
as
is?
possible.
He thinks he's going to
So-
get an easy win.
So you'll get
He thinks
Yeah,
he's going to
he's
get
got it.
10
He's
minutes.
got
He's going to
You'll
win.
have 10 minutes on the Sunday, and then you'll have a minute and a half.
I'll
to
have
do.
a minute, yeah. 30 seconds. Are you doing it? Will I have like a minute, or as soon as I come off with the big, he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer, gong him off.
You're going
Like,
to.
maybe in the crowd with one of the cards, and
Yeah.
me and you just gong him off.
You're gonna
instantly.
do that thing where like do like Man City playing like the Carabao Cup. You're gonna roll out the fucking the under 21s, a couple of boys
What, the
like
shit
having a
material?
skill time. Yeah, just for the crack. Just like is there life in the old dog yet? Or do I let it go?
One of the reasons I decided to do it as well was because when the very first time I moved to Australia, the first comedy gig I did was a thing called Beat the Elephant, which was a gong show, and it was in the Elephant and Wheelbarrow pub in Perth. And what happened was they gave out 3 elephants, and if you got gonged, somebody held their hand up. That was 1, 2,
It's the
3.
Australian beat the frog, like,
That's
isn't it?
pretty much
Yeah.
their idea of it, and then it was this. So the first night I did it, and they did it where anybody who got through the 5 minutes, you had to do another minute, and then the
fuck.
crowd cheered for who would win.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's a nice system. The very first night I was there, I won, and I won $100.
Nice.
And I was like, I don't even do stand up for about a year, and I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
maybe I'm better at this than I thought.
Yeah.
And then I was chatting to a boy in the front bar, I'm $100, and this is wasn't working or anything yet. I just landed. I was there about 4 days. Starting with $100, being like, this is amazing. And this guy came up to me and he was like, mate, I had no idea what you said, but it sounded fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I was like, I won because it sounded funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't even funny.
Take out all day, like.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's
everyone's a win.
But I keep the 100? Yeah, right,
Yeah.
fuck you then.
I had the opposite reaction. I did Beat the Frog in Manchester, and my opening line is a wee bit like not risky, but like it's very clear that I'm joking. But I think with my accent sounding harsh to English people, I think they thought I was being serious. And
Did you
like,
reference the Manchester bombing?
No, it didn't. But like it wasn't far away.
Because I
from
do when
that.
I gig over there. Like,
did
it's a
you?
great
There's
laugh.
another.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I have a joke about why the people in the north of England are friendlier than the south.
Okay.
Because when you're south of England, they ask you, do you know who did Canary Wharf? But when you're in the north, they say, thanks very much for the new town centre.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I mean, I'm too nice to sound mean anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
apologies for interrupting. What got you gonged?
No, it was during one. So I start off by going, oh, the reason why I got into stand-up comedy, I just didn't think there was enough straight white men getting attention. Clearly a joke.
Yes.
Yeah. Saying that all comedians are straight white men. But they thought I was being serious, and it was just, do you know when you feel them just go,
Oh, this guy's got something to say.
you know
Like,
when you feel them go, oh, this guy's a cunt, and I want to go, no, it's a joke.
Yeah.
And then someone
Yeah.
hackled me, but like, you know when them hackles was just like, ah, like it's just a noise.
Yeah.
And you go, and I went, what? And then they didn't say anything back.
It's just pure
And I
silence.
went,
Ah.
anyway, and then moved on, and it was just an uphill battle. And then that day they changed it from 3 to 2. You only need 2 cards to go off, and then I got like 3.5 minutes in, and I got gonged off. But like,
See,
it
when that
was
happened-
never
Do you-
good. Like, it
do you know
was
what
shit
that
from the
is?
start.
Do you know what I think that is? That's because over here the bottom ceiling is a lot higher than probably the bottom of England's is. They've seen people get on stage before and we're like, hey, there isn't enough fucking straight white men getting attention. So they probably have seen
Do you know
something
what it
else.
is?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think I've done that gig with that guy was on.
I am that guy.
It's our character.
You look like you're recruiting for the incels.
Do you know what it is? Though? There was 15 acts on, and I was 15th. So
Oh,
I think they were,
now we're getting to the excuses.
I think they were
Now
just
we're
like,
getting to the
fuck
excuses.
this.
Yeah.
But anyway, shit.
I was going to
No,
ask,
that's
did you
take
wait
on.
to the end to see who won? But
No, do you know what? See everyone who won, everyone got through. They all deserved it. So it wasn't even ones where it was hard done, but I deserved to be gonged off. I would have gonged me
Cut
off.
me off.
Bad day at the office.
I've never done a gong show, but the competition I did down in Dublin, and it's the last time I gigged in Dublin, was that box one at the Hipney, as it's
Hipney.
called. And
Yes.
basically it was like a couple of like pro comedians on, then 3 or 4 of us got on for the open mic segment, and it was just an audience clap who won. And they clapped for me, the loudest, and I was like, happy days, open the box, €20 in it. And I was like, I've drove the whole way from Belfast.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'll take it, money's money. And then walked out to my car, clamp on the side of it. €120 fine.
It takes €20 off it anyway.
Yeah, it's just like
Go on.
I actually think it was €140, so it was €120 left. I was like, oh, this is the worst.
So essentially, you got a discount in a clamping.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
What a shit price.
yeah. And I was, how'd you get on in Dublin? I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk
I
about
got
it.
a £20 voucher for the DVLA.
Do you know what would have made that worse? If someone had walked out and just went, we didn't actually find you funny, but you just sounded funny. That's the only thing that made that
I didn't
worse.
actually find you funny, but just see where you parked. Let's help this wee man out here a second.
But you know what's off in the blow when the guy said it to me? The $100.
Yeah.
All right, that's all right. I'm like, do you want to give me more money? You can call me names. I don't mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
How many years were you in Australia then?
That's what I was going to say. Like, tell us a bit more about that.
I think I was gone for about 7 in total.
So you
So
when you
I went
left,
back
what
sort of-
year? Sort of 2011, 12?
2012. Two of my brothers were already living in Perth,
Yeah.
so it was like a like a swapping scheme where
Right, tag me in, bro.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, order from Love Pizza. Now online with a brand new app. Guys, I love pizza, and that's why I don't go anywhere else but Love Pizza.
See, to be honest with you, the only Domino's I'm interested in is the game that I play with my granny. I wouldn't go there for my pizza. I go to Love Pizza because there's pizza and I love it.
Do you know what I used to think? I used to think I just loved pizza and loved curly fries. And then I realised, why not just have the best one? The Love Pizza curly fries, the Love Pizza pepperoni pizza. It's just the best you can get.
Some things change in life, but the quality of Love Pizza never does.
Stays constant.
So check them out. www.lovepizza.com.
I arrived. My younger brother picked me up from the airport, and then he went home a week later.
Oh, fucking
You just
hell.
said, like,
So he
can,
had
I,
done
can I
his-
use your visa to get in?
No,
Did he pass the
no,
keys
he's
to the
got black
house?
hair. He looks nothing like me.
He went to Perth on loan. It was like a transfer.
Exactly. So my oldest brother was there, and then my youngest brother was there, and then I went out. The oldest fella, Gareth, he stayed for a few years. Stephen went back home, and then I did a year in Australia. Did my farm work, worked out in the
Yeah, get you a visa,
worked out in the
doesn't it?
vineyard, got me a visa, which was, to be honest with you, one of the fucking coolest things I've ever done. I just lived on a farm in a place called Margaret River. I lived in like an actual old like milking shed that had been converted into bunks and
See,
stuff.
when you like say like you work in like a vineyard, no, is like when I hear that, I think like backbreaking work. Like, is that what it is?
No, I got lucky because I landed out, and the guy was like, "Can you drive a tractor?" And I was like, "Oh, you think just because I'm fucking Irish you can drive a tractor?"
It's mad the way
You're
you can
100%.
Yes, I can drive a tractor.
I mean, I can, but I'm annoyed that you assume.
So I got a work vehicle. I got the tractor. I got a quad bike, and I got what they call a ute.
A
So-
quad bike just for the crack, or was it?
No, it's for working.
Already?
It's the same in the vineyard and
my
the
head.
glider.
No, wasn't a fit between the rows. But one of the things they don't tell you is that there's a thing called an orb spider. Now they're not
Oh,
venomous,
fuck.
but they are massive, and
Yeah.
they build
They're really into techno.
exactly. Nice one.
The niche, wasn't it? It was niche, wasn't
I
it?
like it. Though.
Thank you.
I don't care. People at home going,
I-
"What?"
yeah.
Googling
Well,
things.
yeah.
I love
that's
how
going
you
on my
showed
head,
off and
yeah.
me and him's fuming. We're like, oh, that's funny shit.
What?
They build their webs between the rows, so I'd be whizzing about on the quad bike, and you'd go through like a fucking, you go through a web, and it'd just be there.
Oh.
So, but it was fine. It was great. I lived in a place called Margaret River,
Right.
so it's like 3 hours south of Perth. I worked there for. You have to do 88 days. You get signed off for.
Yeah.
So I was there for about 10
Yeah.
weeks. Did Christmas there and all, and then I would drive up and down to Perth to do gigs.
I was gonna say,
And
how
then they would have
long?
gigs around the place. So.
How long there did it take you to get into the gigs and stuff?
Wasn't too bad. So when I started, I got over, and then once I done that competition, I did another competition called Green Faces. I got into the final of it,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Is
then
it
I did.
Irish themed or is that just
I guess that's
unfortunate
No, I
name?
think you mean like
Faces.
the green.
Oh,
you're new.
You did right.
Oh,
Okay.
I was like, that
Did it.
sounds racist.
No, this is the racist one. There's one called Raw Comedy.
They're going to say blackface.
No, they also do that. Australians are very racist. I got into the state final of Raw Comedy, but you can only be in that if you are an Australian resident.
Right,
So
okay.
because I was backpacking and I was just travelling, they were like, "Darren, we can put you in the state final, but we can't let you win."
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and then I was like, okay. So but they were like, put us a gig for like 1,200 people in this theatre, and I was like, I'll do it. And then another company came to me and they said, we need an Irish comedian for Paddy's Day up on one of the mine sites.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, you'll have to fly up there and stay there for 3 days. This is a place called Onslow, which
Right.
holds it's a population of 500 people. This town in the middle of the desert. They have an iron ore mine and loads of sheep. That's it.
That's it.
And
Is
I
there a
flew up
pub
there.
or anything?
There's a pub, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I was in the
alright,
pub on
yeah.
Paddy's Day with a boy from Laois, and I met an boy who was working on the mine from Ireland as well. So the reason I did that was because they were like, you can't do the theatre, or you can do the theatre, but we can't let you in. And then this crowd was like, we're going to pay you this much to fly up there, and I was like, fuck the theatre.
And what are these
I've
gigs
got no
like?
money.
Are they good? Like, are they
It was madness, but it was
mad.
great crack. You're in like it's an outdoor area. It's 10 o'clock at night, and it's about 30 degrees
Fuck that.
and you've got a light on you, and they made me bring the PA with me, which is my lifelong thing about bringing PA systems. I've
Yeah,
been setting them
Mr.
up
PA.
myself.
Dorsey
Yeah.
last week, it was like, let's bring it up. And on our mad gig, by the way.
That was mental.
Yeah, it's like,
I heard you talking about it on,
Yeah.
on the last week's episode, and it was.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, accurate.
yeah, true life.
You-
Yeah.
you did well.
I was all ears, but you confirm it was like that.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
well to avoid it. And then I.
Poor Liam McCooey. You drafted in.
Oh, McCooey kicked ass.
Oh no, yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah,
should've
well
won.
fit for
I
them.
didn't
Well
talk
fit for
about
them.
the book I found. It's,
me.
yeah.
there was a book that it's about written by a guy exposing the Ra or whatever. And
Oh, a few chapters missing out of it.
yeah, the first 3 chapters are all ripped out, and you go, it's probably because it names boys here at the gig.
Yeah, we were like,
Jesus
probably,
Christ.
probably named somebody we know.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
But
The chairman's in the
no,
blurb.
I did that. I did Australia, and then I went back to Australia, and then I did New Zealand, then I did Canada, then back to New Zealand, then Australia, Ireland, Canada. So I basically just didn't do winter for 3 years one time.
Yeah.
That's hard to beat.
I just kept moving hemispheres.
What
Nice.
about,
Great.
how long were you in Asia for as well? Was that a couple
Asia
months?
was
just, or-
like 4 months. So
Lovely.
I did a month in Thailand at the start of 2018. I was there, 2017 into 2018. So I did the full moon party. Did you do
Yep.
that when you were over?
Koh
Samui?
Samui.
Did you do a full moon?
Koh Phangan.
Koh Phangan, sorry. Koh Samui's where we went after. So, but the thing I didn't realize,
Look at you.
Oh, you think you've travelled, Matthews? Do you?
the near Asian boys.
I didn't go to Koh Thai though. So that was the album.
Murder Island, that's nicknamed.
Koh
Oh,
Thai.
you were
Could I,
terrible,
yeah.
so murder, right?
Yeah.
Murder,
Or
right?
stand-up
Sounds like-
comedians
I'll
go
say
out
it
and go, "Oh, I'll see
on
murdered."
the absolute previous. One murder, the place got a bad rep. You know how these
Yeah.
things go.
So it's Bestbrook then.
Yeah.
But wait,
Tamer version.
pretty much. But wait, I did that, and then I did a month there, and then where did I go? Back to Australia for more, kicking about the place.
What's it like doing them flights? Like so many of them flights? Because like I've never went anywhere as far as that. The furthest I've been is America. I've been to like Africa, but like North Africa, so like no flight at all. But like going northern, southern hemisphere back and forth. Isn't that brutal? Like
Do you know what? It's a
You get
day of
used
your
to it.
life. You get used to it.
Yeah.
I've been in Dubai Airport 8 times, and I've never been in Dubai.
yeah,
Just never, yeah.
I've been in Doha Airport, never been in Doha. I've been in Hong Kong Airport, never been in Hong Kong. Singapore, no, I've been to
I
Singapore.
was watching like a travel vlogger today. I don't know if you've ever seen him, Simon Wilson. You ever seen that guy?
No.
Does all these mad fucking challenges. Like he bought a £60 car and drove to Madrid for the Champions League
Oh, I
final.
have seen him.
Is this-
Still, but took Jimmy Carragher with him. No.
He went. He didn't do the full trip.
Right,
He just
okay,
went.
yeah.
You would have seen his clips before.
Is
He does,
he
like,
on TV or is he just
no,
YouTube boy?
YouTube. He does like no money challenges. Goes to, like Abu Dhabi and lives in there for 3 days, no money.
Nice.
All mad stuff like that there. And he's doing one at the moment where he bought like a round the world Monopoly board and he rolls the dice, and wherever he lands, that's where he goes. And the first place he went today was Istanbul, and I've been in Istanbul about a dozen times, but just for layover flights. I've never actually left the airport. Like,
Yeah.
there's just those cities where people go, but they never actually leave. Like,
Oh yeah, there's travel hubs all over the world where they're just huge airports, and you just don't get off that's why the airports are like hotels.
Yeah.
There's cinemas
There's
in them, there's
gyms and
shopping
stuff,
centres.
yeah.
Mental.
Can I ask, when you were out in Australia and stuff, did you stay in contact with all the boys you started off gigging with here, and also it was easy enough when you came home to just
Yeah, when
sort of
I was
jump
coming
back
home,
in?
then I could hop back in and do shows.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
other
you
thing as
started
well
here,
is
the comedy here.
Yeah.
I did a year here and
Right,
then went
okay.
away. So I would have started the same time as guys like Rory Woods, Kieran Bartlett,
Okay.
Paddy McDonald, those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
But that was the thing why it was easier to come back and drop in, because there was only about 15 people doing comedy.
Seemed
Yeah, well,
smaller
no,
back
it's
then.
So
like-
they were a lot smaller. No
since
way.
lockdown, when we all started, I mean, it just keeps to go exploding more and more comedians joining. Like,
Yeah, that's why we're doing open mic nights. Like with the Sunflower gig, I have 10 comedians a month or 9 comedians a month. I don't have enough stage time to give everybody. So there's
Yeah.
open mic specials. There's the Gong Show.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the only way I can give people.
That's why this place has thrived, probably because there's such a demand for
Yeah.
my comedy
Yeah.
at the moment.
Absolutely.
There isn't enough weekly things to give people the itch to do it,
Yeah.
and then go, I'm satisfied for now. I'm
Loads
full.
of-
Do you know,
loads
like,
of monthly
weekly
gigs.
comedy
does that
every
newcomer
Friday.
competition as well? He's
Yeah, but I mean, that's the one down in Thornbury's. But with stuff like that, the new acts being like you guys come in and how many gigs did you do in your first year? You counted all this stuff.
100.
You did 100. No way, I wouldn't have done 100 gigs in maybe the first 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, I've done 70 this year already.
That's it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have got any.
And I've
of them
Edinburgh to
numbers.
come, and like I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna hit like 160 this year.
Yeah, so if you
alone,
do
like.
that, you'd be doing all the spots. You pick up loads more. You'd be
Yeah.
like, I can do that at 4 o'clock. You do all that. So yeah, there's so much more availability and stuff. That's why.
Yeah, it's cool.
I was saying to you one time where I get really annoyed, but I think it's out of a jealousy when people are just like, did a gig the other night. There's only like 30 people there, and I'm like, I'd have cut your throat for 30 people.
Joe, I've heard comedians talk about this from like that era. I think it's Connor Keys was telling me this, and he says like, comedians. Like,
You're gonna go on the defensive there.
You don't know what a shake gig is, and in fairness, I'd say like 80%.
Oh no, I'd say you know what shake gigs are.
Don't,
Yeah.
but it's that we've definitely
I've
done
some.
shake gigs. Like,
I've done all them.
I'll say it once, said it many times this podcast. Love and death, extra death. The
Yeah,
fucking
love
Kieran
and
Franco
death, only
special.
death.
Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Sticky
Sticky
stage,
stage.
man.
Yeah.
I've actually got a new thing. If you're not booked for the first night of something, ask to do the third one, because
you
one,
skip
it
the
might
second.
not
Brutal.
it might not happen.
Yeah.
And
And the second one is the hardest, because first night's always class, and
Yeah.
bars are like, oh, this is easy. We don't have to do any work for this.
Yeah.
Second night happens. There's 4 people there.
For the
And
last-
you're like, did you do any promotion?
Yeah.
The last Bellevue one, it was you done the second one and the last one.
And I said you'd put it upstairs, and you're like, yeah. And then I arrived, and no, what did I say to you? Don't book me until it's upstairs.
Yeah, and they were like,
I arrived, he goes, I will put upstairs.
I wouldn't open it, and I arrived, and I was like, right. Oh,
I'm here now.
I remember there was one part where you put the mic in and just started speaking to the crowd, and I just put my head in my hands. I was like, "This be the last comedy gig going ahead here."
I love sometimes your defense for things they got there. You're like, you said you were going to put it upstairs, and you just be like, you just make like a noise, and that's it.
Because like when it is something I've had to start doing, go on the defensive against sort of like bar managers and like just say, "Will you promise me this?" And you haven't. That's why with the Yo gigs that I'm running now, I find it a lot easier because we've complete sort of transparency with the bar and how to run
Yeah.
it. And I'm happy to just run that one now completely rather than
In your
like try and
defense,
do.
sometimes it's better to give the venue enough rope for where they will sort of hang themselves on it.
Yeah, well,
do you know
that's
what I mean? Like, you're like, I have told you, and you're not listening, so it's going to be
After
shit.
that last one, I realised I'm just going to wipe my hands clean and solely focus on the no joke ones.
I
Like,
have to break a
and
few
then-
eggs to make an omelette,
Yeah,
guys.
that's
Gotta
it.
fuck up, trial and error.
That's it.
Well, but
pretty much.
that being said, that one, like, whenever there's one stage you just put the mic in and just started speaking to the crowd, and then the bar manager mailed me going, "Any chance of Shane Todd or Paddy Raff for the next one?" I was like,
This is it, mate. This is as good as it's ever gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, lad, you can put Billy Connolly up there to be shy.
yeah. Oh, I was like, fucking hell.
No.
But some people as well, like some bar manager, you give a bar manager a fucking lineup, and we all know everyone on that lineup's a killer.
Yeah.
They go, who's that? Do you know what I mean? They don't
Yeah,
know the
that's-
names. You're like,
that's-
you don't realise them guys are all fucking class. Like,
Yeah.
just because you don't know
do
the
do
name.
you know what it feels like? Do you know when you play Football Manager and you
Yeah.
scout someone out, and it's like, you're now in like the 2027 season,
Yeah.
but in the Premier League next year, they come through and goes, see that by 2027, he's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He's killing my Football Manager.
He's
Like,
a silver card. He's 77 now.
Yeah.
Love the potential. He's an 89
do
potential.
you know who I-
23 in the
do you-
Bundesliga.
do you know who I had that with in FIFA? Shane Long back in the day.
Shane
Watched him
Long.
go from a wee baby bronze all the way up to goal 76.
I thought you were going to start
Fucking
talking about
unbelievable.
Shane Duffy again.
Oh, no.
Half the podcast last week was about fucking
Oh,
Shane
yeah.
Duffy.
I was like,
Exploits for Kitty Price.
There's a good question for you, Darren. Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
The most famous person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from us three.
Maybe Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden.
Nice. Yeah. Jordy.
Full on was thinking of David Dickinson there from Dickinson's
And you know what? I was about to be very
Do you know what? I was more impressed with.
Oh, I met Jeremy Renner as well in Montreal.
Who, Hawkeye from...
Yeah, from the
nice.
Avengers.
Is he alright? He was in an accent. I don't know what Darren on the hotline to him.
Well,
Right,
this was in 2016, so he was over to film Captain America: Civil War.
Is
That's
it?
how long ago that was.
Yeah.
It's a while ago.
Who's the first person you said?
Oh.
What band?
Iron
Iron
Maiden.
Maiden.
Iron Maiden. That is pretty big. Like.
Bruce
Who now
Dickinson, yeah.
massive Newcastle United fan and producing his own beer there as well.
Who's that?
So he's,
You the PR manager? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
well,
I used to love Iron Maiden growing up, and then
you used to,
Steve Harris is the big
used to
West
listen to
Ham
Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
maybe?
I
as listen, tell me 5
It's one of
songs.
the first CDs I had as well.
What?
What is it? Run for the Hills?
Yeah.
Run to the
Run
Hills?
for the Hills, Run to the Hills.
Number of the Beast.
You had the single, or did you have the
The album with
album?
the guy's like on the top of the wee Union Jack thing, the wee zombie guy. Isn't it? That's the
Don't
cover.
look at me. Don't lie,
It
not
is,
yet.
isn't
It's
it?
the one with the trooper on it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that, I had that.
The
Cover to cover. Loved
first concert you went to by yourself.
Foo Fighters, 2002, Point
it.
Devil.
See, you're actually into good music.
Yeah.
These guys.
No, first concert I went to
yeah,
by
these
guys
myself.
listen to
Black
shit.
Sabbath, 2013 in the Odyssey, and Ozzy Osbourne.
You were
came
dying
out-
to get that out, weren't you?
Ozzy Osbourne
You were
came out
dying
and
to say
went,
that.
"Welcome to Manchester."
What were we saying last
That
week?
sounds about
Oh,
right.
yeah.
He asked a question just so he could give you a bit of information.
Yeah, tell me
asked
story.
most
He
leading
asked him
questions.
what
That's
his one was, just so you could flex. Your first one was Black Sabbath.
Here, have you ever seen a woman naked? What do you have? Right?
Yeah. Well, we were getting along to it. Oh, come on, boy. Listen, Pedro.
You do well,
You
you
gotta
do well.
flex it.
Right, no, that's another fucking like. You've so many fucking different lives.
Yeah.
You're in the fucking punk band as well back in the day.
Yeah, I used to play drums in a punk band called Too Fat for Porn
Oh,
in Warren Point.
chef's kiss of a fucking early
Band.
2000s
I
punk band
take
name.
no credit for it because I joined after they'd picked the name. So
Did you know all these boys before you joined, or was it like you seen an advert in the newspaper and were like,
I was
gonna-
playing in another band with a couple of boys from down at home. from near Bestbrook, and then they needed a drummer, and they were automatically doing better because their name was cool.
And there was
Yeah.
some
And I was
guy
like,
on
I'll have this-
stage, and he went, "You know that new sound you've been looking for?"
Yeah, no, this was
not
we
here.
sounded like everybody else.
Did you do the MC trick when you were working in the band on stage? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
No, but that was the first time actually I had a microphone, because we had our singer, and then we realised that they were like, "Well, can you sing?" I was like, "Aye." And the drummers do have microphones, like
Yeah.
Don Henley from the Eagles, he sings. all
Or the
that.
Monkeys, backing singers.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can sing.
Drummer.
So that's where I got the mic. So it was a bit of a comfort before I started.
I have
Yes.
a question for you. It's that bit of like Joe when an MC brings himself on stage. Is that free range material, or are you claiming that as a Darren Matthews original?
No. That's out in the open.
That is a free range.
free range,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
You gonna start
that's
using
a
it?
dad joke
No,
in a bar.
no, because I've seen people do it, and I've done it, and then I'm like, have I stole that from Darren? And I was like, it must be free range. It is a
No,
free
it
range
is, it
thing.
is quite literally to get them to be quiet
Yeah.
without
So,
you
yeah.
having to go up and go, scoot, hello.
Yeah.
Because you look like a dick then. At
Yeah,
least you
yeah.
can walk out. They're relaxing. That's
Yeah.
all it's for.
Yeah.
Where do you
Yeah.
stand on heckler put downs? Because I know some people, they say, "Oh, it's my heckler put down," but then other people are saying heckler put downs are free range.
What? No, I
mean-
mean, I wouldn't. If anybody's used one, I wouldn't use it myself. But my brain obviously decides how mean the heckle is,
Yeah.
and then I'll decide what's coming back.
I think
Yeah.
it
It's
means
gonna
like
be a-
repeating.
Yeah,
a
like,
heckler.
did you
So
learn
say
to
like a-
whisper in a helicopter? Helicopter?
Yeah, you can say that all you want. Like anyone else has ever said
Or
that?
do you learn to whisper in a volcano where I don't come to your job and tell you how to lick windows, stuff like that? Like,
The
I've heard people
but I
do
think you're
stuff.
fair rain.
yeah, for you.
Yeah,
I think sometimes, as like comedians, you don't mind. You're kind of going, if this gets them back under control, I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but
sort
if
of
it
thing.
silences, especially if you're MCing, no matter what, it's just your job.
You learn
Yeah.
to be
Don't-
hacking
you-
crowd
don't-
work.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
worry.
yeah.
Don't worry about the show's not about you. You're steering the ship, like, so whatever
Yeah.
you gotta do.
Yeah.
Because first time I ever MC'd, you sent me a voice note, and I was like, "I'm ready for tonight MC and doing a bit of crowd work." And the first thing you said was, "You need to realise you might have to die on your sword here with us. If someone has had a bad gig, then you have to sort of take the fall almost after it and bring the crowd back."
Oh yeah, you might have
Yeah.
to use your best joke
Yeah.
and just use it like a throwaway line. If somebody goes in their face and
Yeah.
you're standing there going like, "Oh Jesus Christ," which is why I feel very lucky when I do Sunflower, because the room kind of lets itself to be really nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice room.
It
It's
is a great
dark.
room.
People feel safe in it, so they kind of go with it. Even the open mic ones I was worried about, everyone was killer.
Yeah.
So whenever my stress at the Sunflower, and I was pacing along at the back, being like, whatever acts on stage, I'm like, don't be the person. Don't be the person that does
Yeah.
it tonight. Because
Yeah.
people get up and they have just lovely gigs and a lovely crowd. I'm like, don't be the person that does it. And thank God nobody has had a proper,
A proper stanker.
oh
like,
Jesus. But
Yeah, we've had to come in.
yeah, I've had to come on and be like, no, I'm going to do 7 minutes now myself.
Yeah, fucking hell. Before we get into fucking questions, I want to ask you something, and this is very topical of what I said to you earlier.
Okay.
I've just taken upon myself that I want to get into the Irish League. Are you a Newry City fan?
Season ticket holder, yes.
You are. Can you? I want G'd up. I want to get into the Irish League. Is it shite or is it good? I've took a wee notion of myself that this season I'm fucking going for it. Like,
It's
good
worth
shit.
mentioning. It's
Good
worth
shit.
mentioning as well. Your window at your house looks over
yes,
Yeah,
Glenavon.
Glenavon.
yes. I live right beside Mourneview Park.
Okay, are you going to go follow Glenavon?
Yeah, well, because I do like Glenavon, and you know, like you say, like you follow them. I check the scores, but never went to a game. Never properly got into it. And I wanted
Mourneview
this
Park's
season.
actually a very nice wee stadium. We were
Yeah.
there for the Irish Cup semi-final against Ballymena. Lost 1-0. Let's not talk about it. But yeah, no, Mourneview.
But it's like
is a nice
UEFA approved.
park.
We get the European Conference League.
Yep.
It happens.
You're
in
gonna be
Mourneview
up
Park.
against-
What? Yeah.
My
What do you
team-
mean? Because any
the Blues.
Irish League team that qualifies for that, we're having two separate
I know what to
conversations.
say, I just realised.
Any Irish League team.
Kieran's like down there. You ever scored a hat trick out in the back?
Yeah.
What's up for your dinner? Any Irish League team that qualifies for the Conference League or the Europa League.
Right. Okay.
A lot of Irish League grounds aren't UEFA approved. Like Coleraine got it, but Coleraine weren't UEFA approved, so they had to have their Europa Conference League qualifier.
In
That's why I
Mourneview.
was just watching Coleraine versus some Bosnian team.
It's because you sent me a video of you going upstairs, and I was like, "What's he doing here? Is he going to
actually,
go
the
in and
lamppost
show
at
me a
my
photo of a
street, there's
shite
a
or something?"
Bosnian like ultra sticker on it where they've stuck it on,
Yeah.
and they were just like a load of Bosnians in my street going fucking nuts with
Never
pyro.
put that in your
As long as there's no like Serbian Glenavon fans, it should be okay.
your middle class Lurgan bit.
Ah, fuck, I know.
No other Bosnians putting stickers on my lamppost in the street.
No, I want to get into
something.
Irish League. Good shite, that's what I want. I love good shit stuff.
Yeah, good shit. Do you know, here's how mad it is. So last year, the Newry manager was a guy called Darren Mullen, and the team captain was a guy called Darren King. Darren was in my class in school,
Yeah.
so that's one of those ones you like.
Yeah.
You know the players, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I looked up the squad for Glen Adams. Go, do I know any of these people? And then there was some. Oh, I went to school with him.
Yeah, you will do.
Yeah.
You will do. You can be one of those ones where when the team are, lining out at the start, only in the Irish League, when you go, Darren King's nickname's Engine. He'd be like, all right, Engine. He'd be like, all right, Darren. Like he's standing in the lineup and he'd wave into the crowd.
Yeah.
You alright? How's your ma? You alright? So that
Do you want to lift home?
Yeah, yeah.
You walk off.
See you in the clubhouse.
So yeah, it's great. It's good shit.
Guy I went to school with actually used to play for Glenavon. He doesn't play for them anymore. He plays for, what do you call a team in Dublin? Shamrocks?
No, it could be
Bohemians.
Bohemians. It could be either.
Is
Shelburne.
Shamrocks a team?
Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah,
Shamrock,
he
yeah.
plays for them. But he used to play for Glenavon, and he played for Glenavon when Glenavon played Mould. And that's when fucking, what do you call him?
Solskjaer was the manager.
Haaland.
Oh shit.
So
Played,
Haaland
yeah.
played Morton v Park, and he scored against Haaland. Now, obviously, Haaland's a fucking striker, but he
Yeah.
scored against Haaland's team and beat fucking
Did
Mould.
Haaland score?
No.
It's quite cool.
Is this
Yeah,
when-
That's good,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
That
it's
is
good. There should be a plaque there. Haaland didn't score here.
I'm looking at the BBC and I'm like, he punched me in the head at a fucking house party. We were like 15. Now he scored against Haaland. I'm
So no,
like,
you can go to if you get your season ticket, it's probably about 150 quid,
Yeah.
and then it's usually about £12 into a game. So if you
Yeah.
go to 10 games at home, that's your ticket.
Fuck
So would you
I
go to
know
any games like Newry City games then?
I would go to a few.
Yeah.
Jordan Robinson, interesting side note, is a big Newry fan now.
Yeah.
Jordan's in there.
Hold on,
I think, like,
Fucking yeah.
I ain't gonna go off
Because
one here.
we had this earlier on. I said that I follow Linfield now because
a load of shite.
You
one
don't?
of my good mates started playing in work, started playing for Linfield professionally.
You are genuinely from Cliftonville.
I know, but I
They're
like
right there.
Is he? I thought you'd be Crusaders. No.
no Crusader. I moved to an area from Crusaders, but I'm from
Not when
closer
you're
to
like
Cliftonville.
Kearney's not a Crusaders fan.
Yeah. But
Wouldn't have you?
No, one of my good mates in work started playing for Linfield like full time, like so. I want to see him do well, so following Linfield.
Shocking.
if you want to see your mates do bad,
They'll make
follow-
you sit in the away end. But anyway,
Yeah. Imagine being a glory
We
hunter
ain't
in the,
like
in the Irish League. Fuck me.
Can you imagine-
It's like
can you
NBA.
imagine
I
him
follow the player, I don't follow the
I know
team.
it's not NBA. It's fucking Belfast.
Yeah.
Could you imagine him sitting there in the corner? All in, Phil. All in. No, no. I shouldn't say that
God
too loud in here.
save our Christ. Not in this
Not
box.
my
Yeah,
box.
yeah. Let's just bring
We're
that down.
up
a
to our
notch.
knees. And anyway,
exactly.
Here, Joe, I'm going to pull this
10
back
German
into...
bombers.
This is the raw talent of the podcast. Because I'm going to pull us back into comedy talk.
yes. Here.
Yeah. Do you know what
Pulse
that's
back
like?
in.
Because I think, like, Northern Irish League, Northern Irish football, you'd look at it and you'd be like, "Oh, it's not the Premier League, it's not fancy stadiums. A bit like a Europa Mike scene here.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You're like, that's not live at the Apollo, that's fucking shit.
Exactly.
Come down and see it and then
Exactly.
give us a wee opinion. Because I guarantee you love it.
And in both scenarios, you end up having pints with the people afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. So,
We'll get out to Linfield and have a match.
Yeah. Wait, we should. I'd be up for it. I could be like we Patreon bonus content. We do the Irish League stuff.
I took one of my mates who's a Glentoran fan and another guy who doesn't like football, and I took them to Newry for the day when you were
Yeah.
playing Glentoran, and they fucking loved it.
Did
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Went to the working men's, £2.60 a pint.
oh, yes.
Then we went over to the showgrounds, £3 tournament. These
what
are from
year
Boys
was
League
this?
Belfast.
Yeah.
This was this year.
£2.60 for a pint in 2023.
Yeah, in the working men's.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Is this the place your mum tried to make us go?
Yeah, and then that was they tried to. I think at one stage they tried to put up to £3.50 a pint there over the last year, and the
You can't
near-
jump from
the
260
near-
to
near front of
350.
this down.
Dude, when it went from 240 to 260, it was nearly a fucking riot.
260.
Yeah.
Like that's mad.
That was
Yeah.
like the story I told last week about the €1 fucking Estrella.
Yeah, I know, but like I can't believe that. I can't believe you get 260 a pint somewhere
Yeah.
now.
No, so I did. I took two Belfast men down to the town, and they loved it.
Yeah, that's what I want. I just want to
Yeah.
fucking go and drink pints. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
See the football? That's an afterthought. I just
Yeah.
want to.
Newry Social is essentially
vibe.
Newry Social. I've done a few gigs in it for them, and it's essentially like two porta cabins stuck together.
Yeah.
It's great crack, great venue as well.
This week's episode of RE Podcast is proudly sponsored by Prize Royale. They are a competition website. They've given away over £1 million in prizes so far. They've had over 1,000 winners, and they've 20,000 followers on their social media. Basically what you do is you go to prizeroyale.com, you set yourself up with an account. It's absolutely free to do, and then once you have an account, you can buy as many tickets to their amazing competition giveaways, and they will send you an email, and you can watch the draw for the competitions happen live, or you can check it later on their social media. Give Prize Royale a wee look, guys.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Joe, I love it. See if you don't win, you're not out of it, lads.
You're not out of it.
Multiple prizes per
Multiple.
entry. So
You have to be in to win it.
You have to. No ticket, no tote. Get yourselves a few tickets on prizeroyale.com.
I entered one of their biggest website the other day. £1.59. Sure, fuck
For a
me.
ticket?
For a ticket.
Unbelievable.
Get on it, guys.
Cash prizes, holidays, Pokemon cards, something for everyone. Prize Royale.
Low roof. Everyone has a great
Tell you
time.
what, lovely smoking area too. Like nice wee beer garden and it's class.
It is
Know what
Stay
I'm
off
worried
the
about?
vapes
now.
Don't
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want
yeah.
going out there with your bulldog vapes?
Know what I'm worried about? You get
Rude boy
really
vape.
into stuff as well.
Oh, mate,
So
I
I'm
do.
worried like you'll forget about it. You coming down to do best of free today? But nah, Kieran, go to Glenavon instead.
I poured it down away here.
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
Sorry
I'm
about
not,
that.
not coming down, boys.
I was going to show you my season ticket.
Oh, right, okay. I don't even realise you had to be somewhere else.
This does look like a press conference as well. We're sitting here with the two
dear.
ultras.
We'll win a few questions, will we?
Yeah, we'll go with
Yeah,
a few
sure.
questions. Yeah.
Kicking off, William Callahan.
Another Newry man.
And, he is nearly right enough.
Yes.
What is Balor, Southern or Northern Tato?
Southern, I think.
I'm gonna go Northern. I'm a
There's a
big
bit more
Northern
kick to it.
Tato fan.
I'm gonna blow all your minds.
You gonna say
Take
Kings?
both packets, mix them in.
No,
Ever done that?
Is it even? Do they taste different?
But that's what I mean.
The Southern
Do
one's more
that,
kick
and
to it, I
I
think.
think the answer is the Southern ones.
No.
I'm going Northern because my brother works for them, and I get
Oh,
a lot.
does he?
I get a lot of free crisps, so I can't be shitting on that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fucking class.
My
I'm
brother
interested in
he's
that.
a delivery driver, and he works out of Lurgan, so I can't. Declan, if you're watching, keep giving me the free crisps.
Actually, think, Kieran Bartlett started doing the crisp World Cup thing on his
Seen that.
podcast. And I think the first episode they actually did do Tato, so I might have to watch that episode to see.
I'm doing that soon. I'm hoping I'm in for either the second semi-final or the final, unless he's recording ahead of himself. Then I might miss the fucking thing.
What's your go-to
Season
crisp?
ticket gets you into that, does it? I hope so. Into the semi-final.
That's a good point. Actually, I've got a message.
What's your go-to crisp?
Go-to crisp, Tato, salt and vinegar. I'm a simple man.
No,
see that in the
Tato
wee
cheese
cold
and onion.
Heineken?
Yeah.
Northern Tato cheese and onion. I had a bit about it, but it just didn't work.
Never.
Yeah.
What about you?
McCoy's flame grilled steak.
Monster
Yeah,
Munch?
that-
Monster
that's
Munch?
my-
McCoy's a good one. If you can afford a fucking middle
If you
class
can
bit
afford
over
it.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my meal deal
That's
option.
your meal. That's a
Made
proper
it.
meal. deal.
Red
Pick-
Bull and chicken and stuffing?
Club.
Oh, fuck's
Club
sake.
sandwich.
Go pickled onion Monster Munch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not as pickledy oniony as they
Yeah,
used to be.
again, they're toning it down. Like,
yeah, they are
Brexit.
toned down. Toned down.
This is like Iron Brew, there's less sugar in it now.
Yeah.
Pickled onions are like, with less powdered, whatever.
Just taking the
Less
fun out of life,
cancerous
man.
stuff. We're actually trying to save your life.
Yeah, it's less sawdust on it.
It's remember Lucas he had orange. They took loads of the sugar out, and then apparently they announced that the sugar tax is going to be revoked. And someone released a video of Mourinho crying, going, "Orange Lucas he had back to its best."
Unreal. Cian Cook asked, I think this is a good question. What was the event that your school was known for? So, like, what was like the
The
thing that
5.
happened? The what?
The Doors 5. So 5 wee lads got caught doing, like, I think they got caught stealing the baby Jesus from the crib by a teacher called Miss Doors, and they denied it was them. And
Doors
they denied they called themselves the Doors 5 and started putting up posters around the school saying "Justice for the Doors 5."
Have they since gone underground and formed some sort of
They were
team? Like,
basically they were taking
They got
off
on their own ladders.
they were taking off the school, off the cinema trip at Christmas.
Oh, dear.
So they started doing like
Reprimanded.
protests in the canteen and all, like "Justice for the Doors 5."
Spreading shade in the walls and all.
Yeah.
see. Well, I went to two schools. I went to St Coleman's College in first year, and it's probably most recently famous for a child sex abuse scandal, so that
Oh,
wasn't a good
lovely.
one. And then St Paul's, where I went after that, which was a great school, was probably famous for its yearly musical, and then in later years after I left, Gaelic football.
Yeah, because you were famously not allowed into the main competition, was not it?
Yeah, the one that you play with the grammar school boys,
Yeah.
Why not?
because you were a wee high school. They were like,
Classist?
yeah, pretty much.
Is
They
this
were
the
like,
place where
"Yous
you
aren't
were
as
going to
smart."
go?
This was the place, yeah, where I was going to. I literally should have went. I was the feeder school of that school, and I was like, I'll go to the Abbey instead.
I technically
Love
went
a
to
trip in
4
the town.
secondary
Yeah.
schools. Like,
Have you?
yeah. Because Lurgan has that weird
You
thing.
teacher?
Something.
Bold boy. The parish priest passed
no,
about.
keep getting moved up. No, Lurgan had this weird thing called the Dixon plan, where like we did schools differently. So like you would go to one school for 3 years, and then you would do a test, and if you passed the test, you got into a grammar school. But if you didn't pass the test, you stayed in that school until GCSEs, and then you left. So you went 3 in one school, did a grammar school, and then there. But I went to a different school before that. I went to St Pat's in Armagh, left it,
Oh,
went to St
Jesus.
Paul's, did 3 years there, went to St Mick's, and then while I was in St Mick's, I did an extra AS in the Protestant school.
Can I ask, is that why you have so many different groups of mates?
Probably.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, you've so many overlapping mates. I'm like, are these people out? And you're like, no, they don't know each other. Their timelines
It's
don't
a weird
come together.
Venn diagram.
I
You're
feel
like an
you-
army brat.
Yeah.
You chatted to one person from there. She was like, "Tell me what that school's like," and then they just twisted your arm, and it's like the fucking Northern Ireland Football League.
Because when
it,
we're out in
yeah.
Lurgan with Pete, he walk into a bar and it's literally like he does the white man's nod for about 5 people. He's like,
I mean,
big shake of the head. Just
my tattoo on my leg that tells my wee story, it's got both my schools on it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't include the school I left because I was only there for a year. But my high school and my primary school are both on it, so not too
I
bad.
remember that time I did a gig with you, and there's fuck all audience members in, and the few people that were from Newry, and your whole set was just you like talking about your tattoo to them. It's like, what the fuck?
I know the lads work. I know
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah. It's like this guy's killing with ink.
Yeah, like 5 guys from Points Pass.
That was good crack. Sean, what was your school known for?
nothing really. It was sort of shit. The Abbey.
Shit.
Yeah, not really.
No, you got a new school.
Oh, we got a new school. That was about it. We had a really old school.
Was your a boys' school or boys and girls?
All boys.
Oh,
All boys,
same.
but then we amalgamated in.
Amalgamated? Is that what they call
Oh,
it?
we amalgamated, yeah.
That's what the kids are called. That's what the cool kids are calling it these days.
That's exactly. After 5 years of just looking at boys, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, baby girl, want to come around my house and amalgamate?
That's one, and not to fucking make the question go on too long, but that's one of the things where, do you go to mixed school?
Well, I went to 4, so 2 of them were.
2 of them were mixed schools, 2 of them were. So I went to the grammar school, which was all boys and fucking weird, and then I went to the mixed school, and I think it's definitely better.
Yeah, we've experienced both.
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
you
I'm
notice
like,
the
I
difference?
can talk to women without dribbling on them.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what are you?
Yeah.
Stop being fucking weird.
That's why I can talk to Protestants without dribbling on them as well.
I'm like the only one of my friend group who went to an all boys school.
Yeah.
And one of my mates goes, "Do you think that this
6
set
minutes
you
on
back?" Yeah, that's what one of my mates said. They go, that a lot adds up.
Yeah.
Speaking of having a mixed school, our school was known for, I don't know if it's what they're known for, but a memorable thing I remember, religion GCSE, girl had a Mark's Gospel up her skirt to cheat in the GCSE religion exam, so she had a Mark's Gospel up her skirt and would like slide it out and like got caught, and she was sitting at the back of the exam hall
No
and she
way.
got marched out in front of everyone.
She
Like-
gotta die for 3 points.
Like if you're going to hide a religious script somewhere, up a fucking underage girl's
Mark is
skirt,
crying right now in heaven.
There's so many like fucking
Imagine she'd open the exam. I was like,
connotations though.
oh fuck, it's John today.
She had that up her ass.
Yeah, do you know
No,
what-
it was Luke, she was fucked.
As somebody who has an A at religion GCSE, which is the only A I have, do you know how you pass that exam? You go to mass for about 10 years. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Here's how your exam works. There's going to be one which is what happens at mass, and then the other one's going to be what's your opinion, but make it sound like we definitely like you're towing the line.
Yeah.
So give your opinion, but nothing controversial, and you're like dead
Do
on.
you know what the key
both
one is? Say something, but on the other hand, and then you ready for the banker? In conclusion,
Yes.
No, Joe.
That A.
Joe, what I didn't like about it was always with those subjects. It was history and religion, which you kind of have to like say exactly what it says in the book.
yeah.
I'm just too big of a fucking bluffer. Like, I
Yeah.
remember before I did my history GCSE, my teacher's like, "I don't think Sean, you're going to do well, so I'm going to make you do like a wee mock one before you go." Only person had to do it, and she wanted to me to tell the story basically of like Hitler come to power in Nazi Germany. And I think the
Can't
first
remember that in the Bible.
the first thing I wrote was basically like Hitler burnt the Reichstag down, and then I couldn't remember the year or the details, so I was like, in the early 90s. The fuck, like
The early
Jesus,
90s?
no, in the early 1900s, right? In the early 1900s.
You didn't even get the decade.
Right? and then just because I couldn't remember how he did it, was by throwing petrol bombs.
No, it was also
I swear to God.
Hitler didn't burn it down either. It was a Dutch communist.
Reichstag fired 1933. They blame the
Dutch
communists.
Yes.
That-
Yeah,
Van der Lube.
Here, boys, I like to think it was, the communists,
Yeah.
Can I just
Wait a
say,
second,
somebody
I
asked you
asked
what
you-
was your school known for, and you're all nothing. That's what it's known for.
yeah.
Remember that decade?
yeah. But then I
Say
did
the
the
Reichstag got burnt down by the UVF.
But then I did the same thing with the religion then, because like it'd be like name the fucking commandments, and everyone knows the hits: don't murder, don't sin, don't.
The hits.
No, it's thou shalt not.
Yeah, thou shall not. But then I would get to the ropey
Don't be
ones.
dick. Ways up.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not
That's
rule
right.
over thy neighbour's wife.
Thou shalt not skip your round.
Yeah. Oh, that's sacred.
One of the boys, because I was struggling, and then I didn't know what to write, and he's like, "Gay." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Thou shalt not be gay." And I was like, "Oh fucking hell, belter, mate, belter."
Don't be footering with boys.
That's in the Free
man
Presbyterian.
shall not lie with man.
Yeah.
It's a different thing altogether.
Oh dear.
So,
That
yeah.
was funny.
Apologies.
Right, what else have we got here? Sarah asks, funniest memory of each other since you've met?
Mine's for yourself, which was telling me about the boy in Limerick. Is sad because I missed it because I was.
One of the worst deaths ever. You seen that, Sean?
Where's
Remember
this?
the guy in Limerick? Who-
Boys, yeah,
that was
fuck.
awful. It opened up Darren in Limerick by going, "Oh yeah, so it's great to be here in Stab City," and everyone just went, "You fucking cunt!" Like, literally just opened up by like slagging the city
Yeah.
he was in. I think that is the worst death I've seen.
But he was talking about then he goes, "I've had bald cancer. They
Yeah.
called me Baldy Locks." But I didn't see any of this, so he was explaining to me in the
It was
smoking
so
area.
funny at the time.
But
You
it
couldn't even
kinda-
replicate it.
Joe-
on
Joe-
the
It
ball.
shocked me that much that I spat Guinness out
It
all over him
was
in the middle of the smoking area. And I
Awful.
got
And he didn't stop. He did the full 15.
Do you know what it was? He got to a certain point and go, "I'll finish on this," and he was nowhere near finishing. But then the next word came out of his mouth, I was going, "I'll finish on this." He goes, "So I had testicular cancer." And we also went,
It was just like fucking it. He did a poem as well in the middle of it. It edited all
You
the.
kind
What's
of
he like? This will bring it back.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
Takes out
edited
small number.
everything a death should have. No eye contact with a crowd.
Goes and gets the ukulele.
Oh, jeez.
and he kept saying as well, he kept saying like stand-up comedy's hard. Like, we're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, he did.
yeah, I know.
He did keep saying that.
But from the minute he came into the room, there was something about him. Like, I was even shaking his hand and all. He was like,
He looked like he was going to school, shoot up a school. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder what he's at.
After the gig or
Before, after, during. Did it in the
so
break.
that's your memory. I'm trying to think of even the first time, because obviously what I met all you at a gig.
you were the
Aye.
second. I think you were the first person I messaged to do about stand up. Mick Nickel. I was like, I'd love to do stand up comedy. And Mick Nickel was like,
I played Hurling with Mick,
yeah, message Darren, and then
I can't
There
remember
we
the
are.
first gig we would have did together.
This isn't a funny memory, but it's a nice memory. I'd done 1 or 2 gigs in Belfast just before COVID. Went to the Sunflower because I've heard of you.
I crowd worked you.
And yeah, you crowd worked me. You're like, anyone from Bestbrook? And I was like, me. And you're like, I don't need heroin, basically.
Yeah.
I remember it well. And then I sort of like chatted to you afterwards and all. And you're like, oh yeah, I'll be able to help you out, whatnot. And then the world ended, basically.
Oh,
But I think you'd like tried to put me on give me 5 minutes at the next Sunflower or something like that, just to sort of help me out because it was from the same area as you.
And then it never
And then-
happened.
And then no, 2 years later, you rekindled that same group chat. And be like, you guys were meant to do a gig 2 years ago. Do you want to do the first one since things reopened?
Fuck, I did do that, didn't I?
That's a nice touch.
Touch
Yeah,
of class
that's
there,
good, yes, yeah.
Matthews. Touch of class.
Jeez, even I'm impressed by me.
I think
You just couldn't find anyone else.
that's what I was like. You're like, is anybody still out there doing this?
Do you all still do jokes?
Yeah.
See, over lockdown, did you do many sort of Zoom gigs and stuff, or were you like, I'm not
I
for
did
that?
a couple of Zoom corporates and I did a load of podcast recordings, but Zoom gigs, no.
Meh.
Yeah.
Like going into detail, did the Zoom corporates pay as well as what a normal corporate would?
No, but I'm sitting in the house anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah, you got a bit to do out of it, like. Yeah.
Cash is cash.
I just
Yeah.
checked there. My 6th gig was in Sunflower, so that's probably where I met you.
6th gig, okay. That would have been, that would have been before, like, there was loads more people, so it was.
And Shane Todd and Kieran Bartlett were on that night because I remember that.
Okay.
I remember.
So that-
no, Kieran Bartlett wasn't on, but he was there. Shane Todd was on.
Oh, Kieran, yeah, probably called down. No, that's good. One of the nice things about the club is that people, same as you get here in Madden's, where people just drop in, you go,
Yeah.
oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
a photo of that man, and be like,
Yeah.
this is who might show up.
Yeah,
It's a nice
on down.
selling point for the whole place, so.
Yeah, and you don't have to list the person or anything like that.
6th gig was good, because you did, I mean, the first year, 70, 100?
100.
100, so yeah.
Yeah. Kieran, I have one more, and then
No
I'll
worries.
pass over to you for the questions. We've got a voice note question from
What could go wrong?
friend of the podcast. Oh, he's partial to a voice note question. Talal Jomar. So I'll play this down the mic here.
Give it
So
up for Talaj Moore.
Here we go.
hopefully you can hear this.
This is a question for all you boys, right? What's the maddest lie you've heard about yourself? As in the maddest somebody's went. It's like it's come back to you. Like, what's the maddest story that you've heard about yourself that isn't true?
Fuck, that's a great question.
Talal does have good questions.
Yeah,
I like them.
good question.
I'm a fan.
When I left St Coleman's College, now when I was in that school, I was in a fight in first year with a guy from Newtown Hamilton who had a speech impediment, and obviously the Chinese whispers flies. And when I got
Yeah.
into St Paul's, like my second day, a guy who went to primary school walked up with me and he just went, "I heard you got kicked out of that grammar school because you beat up a guy with special needs."
Oh my god, that was you!
Punched a man with a speech impediment, beat up a person with so
Butler
that's
Down
one of the
syndrome.
maddest things I've heard about myself. And I was like, what? And then, to be fair, nobody ever tried to fucking start fighting me, so
Yeah.
Fair.
I'll not go into too much details, but quite recently I heard that a certain comedian was saying that I was going around spreading shit about said certain comedians.
that was me.
Trying to ruin their career.
Yeah, trying to ruin their
Ruin
career.
the lads, very few of us have careers.
Yeah,
Fuck up.
yeah. So-
Fuck up.
I heard that was one I heard and I had a giggle at that. Like,
You hearing anything? I can't
You beat
think
a
of
bitch,
anything.
were you? What? You beat a bitch?
no, it wasn't.
I remember,
there was no need to sink my own ship.
one of my mates, Freight, another mate, the girly
Freight?
fan. Yeah, Freight.
Really pronounce that F.
Freight,
Really
yeah,
pronounce
yeah,
the F. It's
No,
just
because then it's frap ed.
Rabbit, yeah.
It's coffee.
it's important.
Alright, Freight, you know when you
What
used
does
to
that
go on,
stand for?
when you used to go on Facebook, it was a Belfast term for when you go on someone else's Facebook.
Have you never heard of Fripp?
What I'm going to say is
Frit.
he Facebook hacked his friend. Let's continue with the story.
Right. He Facebook hacked and messaged the girl he fancied, being like, "Oh, right, big sex. We're like 14, right? Big sexy, like something vulgar."
Yeah.
And I remember she replied, going, "This is definitely Kieran Franco," and I had nothing to do with it at
Yeah.
all. So I was like, "What the fuck?
You did time for it, did you?
Why would it be me?" But I was just remember thinking, like, I've never spoken to this person, so why are they assuming that
You
it's
just have that face. You're full of devil.
Oh, I
You just
know.
in jail with the Doors 5.
yeah, just associated. I'm the Doors 5 Devil Era. I never went down with them, but I helped fund them.
There are some things one mustn't do for the country.
My dad used to work out in the Sheepridge Family Entertainment Centre up in Newry and had like a children's soft player like Cheeky Monkeys and like Laser Quest and Bowling Alley and all that. And
It's all the same room.
rumor in my school was my dad used to own Cheeky Monkeys.
Right, okay.
So everyone's like, "That's that boy's dad. He owns the fucking soft play area." I was like, weird.
Baller.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, our house would be a lot nicer if I lived if I owned fucking
Yeah.
cheeky
Yeah.
mugs.
Front doors just made of foam.
Hit your head on the way in if you want.
Time for dinner. Laser question at you.
What are you gonna drink? Slush puppies. Kieran, questions there?
Yes, two from George Robinson.
Shout out George.
Well, first off, Adam Byrne asks, how's the forfeit for Richarlison going? So we'll just skip over that.
Yes. Have you heard about this?
I heard this mentioned because I listened to the podcast.
So Big Balls here said Richarlison was going to score 20 goals.
I thought he'd be our talisman.
And the punishment was I get the right.
Wait, he's telling me he's fucking cursed.
Yeah.
But,
I get the right like a minute or two of material, and he has to perform it on stage.
It can't be like anti-Semitic or anything like that there, but it's like just
no,
shit
that's
up.
not Spurs.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
am I the only person picked up on that?
Yeah. But just I think a real sort of people come. You said people come off and be like,
I
he's
want
a
it to
bit
be
of a
half
wet wipe.
believable. I want
Yeah.
people to believe that he did write it, because if I just write, if Kim got and go say silly monkeys 14 times, people are going to go, we wouldn't write that.
Message the guy from Limerick and ask for a set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd annoyingly probably make it good.
The Gong Show.
Oh
No, because that's an easy out.
In
20
the
seconds,
sunflower.
you're
Joe
out.
has
So
to
we're
work
still
be
waiting
here
for this
and
to
stop
happen.
sitting on the pav.
The hot top of the
Pav's
yeah.
perfect for it. Open mic, but like
You have too much of a rep.
we're not
on that
shitting on
pal.
our
You do
doorstep.
realise
We'll shit on Luke McGivens.
I'll still count that as a gig. Like, whore for stage time.
Yeah,
Okay.
fuck it, the gig's a gig. But
Right.
yeah, no, so we'll need to decide when that happens.
Right, so we're Charleston. So okay, what was George's?
George's is, what's the spookiest thing about you, or the spookiest thing that you believe?
Spookiest thing about me?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a spooky guy.
Yeah. No, not the spookiest thing about you is
Well,
you can make loads of stuff stick to your forehead.
yes, I do like the
I know the
paranormal.
spookiest thing about you. It's probably
That's more the sweatiest thing about me than the
the
spookiest.
spookiest thing about me and you is we'll just disappear from nights out.
Yeah,
That's spooky.
yeah, I do like
Do you
an
feel? Do you do an Irish
I
goodbye,
like an
Darren?
Irish goodbye.
I've done it previously. I think what's spooky about you is because you always wear black. You're
Wait, like hold on.
Yeah,
I might
it's
the
spooky
spookiest
Pete,
cunt
yeah.
there.
no. Just I
Love
was gonna say
Halloween.
because that means that you're dressed as a man, but you won't fuck up.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm really bad at my job. Spookiest thing. I don't think I mean, it's a lovely sunny day and I'm wearing my nice bright orange colours. Like, I don't know. Is there any spooky about me?
We're not spooky guys.
No.
When you,
Even
when you flash someone on stage, right? Time to go.
yeah, even when I played in like heavy metal bands and rock bands, I was always the least spooky.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
sitting at the back and people just this little like ginger head banging me like, what's that
Yeah.
guy doing back there?
Yeah. I'll
Even-
tell you what's
yeah.
spooky about me. Whenever I flash people now at open mics and they go, "Oh, I'm being flashed," I'm like, "This is about to get spooky real quick."
Oh.
Get the fuck off the
Or
stage.
someone went to cheers, Sean, for flashing me really sarcastically.
Well, wasn't that the other week? Remember when you were on holidays?
Did it happen to
When
you?
you were 3 people acknowledged me flashing them, I felt like, well, stop fucking mentioning that I'm
I have the
flashing
rule
them.
now. The rule is one flash.
Hey everybody, that's
But you know what it is?
Eye contact.
See when you get
Yeah.
flashed, it doesn't mean I'm going to come rip you off the stage.
Yeah.
It just means wrap up.
yeah.
Generally.
Because you
The
done
rule of
it
Madden's
and
is the rule of Madden's is 5 minutes. You get a flash, and if you go 6 minutes, which is what is that? A full
60
minute.
seconds more.
I was trying to work out the percentage.
20%.
Yeah,
20% more.
20% over your time. I just stand with the torch up the back of the room.
That's fair.
And since I've announced that, no one's done 6 minutes.
But you were flashed the person, and then they just turned around and they were like, "Right, well, I'm wrapping up here, Pete. So can I just get the end of the bit?" And I
I'm
was
like, yeah, you can.
but don't
yeah,
need to address
nice way to derail your own momentum there, by the way. Nice
Yeah.
work.
It's when people get off the stage. I don't know why I'm going on this rant now, but when people go, "That light's so bright," it's like nobody else gives a fuck. Just
Yeah.
continue.
That's the spookiness. That's
Spooky McAlevey,
Yeah.
3 pints in.
Any other questions?
We need to wrap this up. I have a show to do.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
George
You
says,
should probably write some material.
Yeah,
yeah. If you
I feel
want,
like I got a bit from this.
if you wanted to impress someone and you couldn't take them to a comedy show, what would you do? Definitely don't take them
Hey,
to a comedy
definitely
show.
wouldn't take him to a comedy
Take
show.
them to an improv show. I remember texting someone. I said, "She was like, what were you at tonight?" And I went, "I was doing an improv show." Silence over
No,
the DMs after.
whenever I see like newer comedians, or even comedians I know, and they're just like, "I'm bringing a date tonight." I'm like, "Don't."
Mate.
Yeah.
I'm like, your job is to talk about what a fucking idiot you are.
Yeah.
Don't bring people here
Yeah.
trying to impress them.
Yeah.
You're an idiot, and you're getting paid to do so. Don't be like, "Here, you should definitely date me. Here's a list of things wrong with me." By the
Yeah.
way,
It's one of their first gigs. And like, so the first time I had sex, and the fucking date sitting in the audience, like, no.
I've had fucking axes in the front row multiple times.
Do you remember the boy in
grim, like.
Show Me the Funny? And he done about 3 minutes of material, and he goes, "I'd like to thank my girlfriend for coming down here tonight. She's the light of my life. She's everything about that I love in life." And he was wearing a wife beater as well. So it was just like,
oh my god,
Are you talking about yourself in third person, Kieran?
and he started talking about how I had OCD and Eamon Holmes.
he's like, one does not agree.
Well, there's the spookiest thing you ever did.
Spookiest, fuck.
Right. We'll wrap this up, will we?
Wrap this up, yeah. Darren, you run the Sunflower gig at the end of the month,
Yes,
which is one of the most notorious best gigs In
I
Northern
love
Ireland,
it.
we'll say. Everyone loves it.
Last Sunday of every month.
Last
First
Sunday of every
weekend
month,
for-
and then the last Saturday of every month, you're on the
Panic
McCoys.
Station in McCoys.
Yes.
But
Some spots.
we're taking a wee break in July this year.
As seen on BBC Northern Ireland.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So BBC iPlayer, go and check out the what is it? The Community Life. So we're on-
Episode 2. I'm in it for a full 2.5 seconds.
I think you're talking more than I did, so you're doing okay. We do that, and then I have the 2 shows coming in August. So
Check us out. So
Yeah.
check it out on Instagram, Facebook. You've all them pages.
yeah,
up,
Darren Matthews Comedian on Instagram and Matthews Darren on Twitter. If you're over 35 like me, so
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
enjoy.
You just want to promote that in, guys?
By the time this comes out, it'll be exactly 1 week to my solo show. There are currently, in the time we're recording, 5 tickets left. So please, if there's still some tickets left, please come. It's crunch time now. I'm buzzing. I got to do a good run for it of it at the Pav last night. It's really coming together. So please, if you haven't got a ticket, I'll see you there.
My solo shows in Lurgan. The first one on the 3rd of September is completely sold out, but there's still some tickets left for the second show on the 10th of September. We have support from Sean Haggerty on that night. So go on to Eventbrite. That's plenty. My solo show, 10th of September, Ashburn Hotel.
Final thing to promote: Madden's every single Tuesday. Doors are at 7:30. Show kicks off at 8. Get yourself down. It's only a £5. Absolute bargain. And if you've ever thought of trying stand-up comedy or enjoy stand-up comedy,
Try it
get
out.
on down and bring your girlfriend. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need. More people.
Yes.
Yeah, try it and just take it off the bucket list. But Darren, thank you very much for coming
Thank
on.
you,
man.
it's a pleasure.
Fucking
Great
brilliant.
crack.
I've
Thank
got
you
to
very
get you
much.
back on again sometime.
100%.
Yeah, keep liking, reviewing, doing all the stuff you do with the podcast. And we'll see you all next time.
That's a pod.